Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another Learning the Basics tutorial for PlateUp. I am the TheOntarioGardener, and today we're going to be talking about all of the franchise cards. And there are a lot of franchise cards, believe it or not, in the game. So we're going to start going over them one by one, and I'm going to give a brief explanation about what each one means and the bonuses that you get from it, or the negative bonuses in a sense. So without further ado, let's start with the first one. Careful accounting, earn 50% more money, which is basically exactly what it says. It gives you an increase of 30% of total customers, and it gives you 100 XP. So that means no matter what you make money on in the franchise run, you will get 50% more, which is quite a good card. You next have double homework. Blueprint desks grant an additional copy. Now this is also a very good one. If you have a blueprint desk, as many as you have, if you have 5, you'll get 10 blueprints each day. Obviously there'll be 2 of the same, but still if you're looking for things like prep stations, mixers, even something like dining tables or conveyor belts, this is a great card to have. Gives also 30% increase in customer count as well as 100 XP. Catalog. Shop offers an additional blueprint each day. So from your typical 5, you'll get 6 every day. It'll be a random one, but you will get a 6th one every single day. Which is also good for you're doing your re-rolls. If you re-roll, you want to have as many blueprints on the ground as possible. So this one gives you an extra one just in case you want to re-roll. This one again has 30% increased customers and 100 XP. Mandatory tips. Earn a 2-coin bonus per customer served. Also a very good card, especially right in the beginning of runs when you're trying to save up a lot of money. This is +2 bonus per customer every day throughout your entire run. It adds up quite a lot. 30% increase in customers, 100 XP. Coupons. All blueprints cost 25% left. Now this is not bad. Early on, it's very good because you have some things like if you get a sink or you want to get plates or a counter that are now 20 coins, it only costs 15 now, and different things like that really is reduced in price. A prep station now will cost 15 instead of 20. Not a bad card. 30% increased customers, 100 XP. The next one, reincarnation. This one is a very OP card. And lost extra lives regenerate each day. Now, the only way this card works, excuse me, is if you bring one of your hearts with you from your workshop. You can bring 2 with if you like. And at the end of each day, if you lost a life, it'll regenerate, which basically gives you a get out of jail free move every day that you play. Because you can mess up one time and it'll be free because it'll always recuperate to the next day. 30% increase, 100 XP. Variety. Now, variety is a big card. It doesn't give you any bonus or negative bonus towards your customer count. This is your most typically a common card that you get. It brings an extra dish on a future franchise run. So when you franchise whatever you're currently working on, you choose this card whenever you start the tier 1 of that franchise. And subsequent ones, if you continue to get the variety card, you bring an extra dish with you that is not the same as the main dish from your franchise that you just had. So if you franchise pies, you can bring with anything besides pie. So you have pie plus fish, pie plus breakfast, etc. Not a bad card, doesn't give you any negative bonus. Prep time. Customers start arriving slightly later. This is a great card to have once you start getting into your tier 2, tier 3 franchises when you have soups and mashed potatoes and things, because it gives you a slight buffer in the beginning part of the day where you can do all your work without customers coming in. 30% increase, 100 XP. This is a good card if you have a lot of starters and sides to repair before the day starts. Supplier error. Shop costs are randomized. Now this one can be tricky. A blueprint cabinet, which typically costs 20 coins, could cost 250 coins. It could be the same as a robot buffer. Or you could have a robot buffer costing 20 coins. So this is a very gambling-ish card to get. 30% increase in customers, 100 XP. Bootstrapping starts with 2 random free appliances. This is the beginning of your run of your tier 1. 2 random appliances. Now, if you get something that goes with your run that's beneficial, like maybe a free conveyor belt or a free power sink or wash basin, this is a great one. But you could end up getting something like a dumbwaiter or sharp cutlery, things that you really won't need depending on what type of your run. So it's a gamble. 30% increase in customers, 100 XP. Second helpings, 50% chance that blueprints can be purchased again. This is a very good card. And that basically means any blueprint that's laying on the ground at the end of each day, when you go into your prep day, when you buy it, there's a 50% chance that it'll remain on the ground and you could buy another copy of it. It's a gamble, but one that's very useful if you seem to have good RNG. 30% increase in customers, 100 XP, of course. The next one, loyal customer, receive a new blueprint when purchasing. So when you buy a blueprint, you will get a new one that spawns. And that can be good, but it's a random one, of course, so again, a bit of a gamble depending on what you're looking for. 30% increase in customers, 100 XP. Conveyors. Shops offer conveyors regularly. This is not the grabbers or smart grabbers, these are conveyors that will be then upgraded to those two using a research desk and a blueprint cabinet. This is a very good card, I find, if you're playing solo and you're trying to automate a lot of things, because you need to have conveyor belts and then you need to have obviously grabbers and smart grabbers to use to grab things with to further your automation. So good card if you're looking for automation. If you're not, then it's not really the best card. I would choose something else. 30% increase in customers, 100 XP. Next one, coffee tables. Shops offer coffee tables regularly. Now, since the bump in cost of coffee tables from the previous play test, this is a good card, but not the early days because you don't have the money to buy it. But later on in your run, if you tier 1 this, tier 2 this, these are very good because you need to have extra seating because you only start with 1, 2, 3 tables. You need to have places for people to sit if you're trying to use your phone to ring in customers to get that little extra coins each day. 30% increase in customers, 100 XP. Floor protectors. Shop offer floor protectors regularly. This used to be a very, very, very good card when floor protectors used to cost 5 coins. But since they now cost 20 coins, it's, again, a bit of a gamble, just like the coffee table one. 30% increase in customers, 100 XP. Shops offer flower pots regularly under flower pots. This is a good card if you're into using the flower pots. The flower pots you can place on a table, so you can either kick someone out of the restaurant without eating or paying, increases their patience, or makes them happier. Again, not one of my favorite cards, but it does have a place if you like using the flower pots. 30% increased customers, 100 XP. Next one, metal tables. Shops offer metal tables regularly. Now, the metal tables have had a debuff to them, a nerf to them, prior to release of the game. Before, metal tables used to be a 25% reduction in patience. Now they're 50%. But metal tables still are the only table that you're not required to sell or to give sides to the main dishes, even if they order sides. So, and they do combine now. Before, metal tables never combined, so you could stack them up next to each other. You can't do that now because the metal table is combined. So they're still good, but you have to have a run that you're planning on taking all the sides, in my opinion, to make it worth it. You have no reduction in customers, and you have no increase in customers. So it's a pretty basic card to get, depending on your strategy. Simple cloth table. Shop offers simple cloth tables regularly. This is in the same boat as the metal tables. These work differently now. So again, it's depending on your play style. If you want to have a simple tablecloth, you can get them. Personally, this would be a card that I would omit. Again, you have no positive or negative effect if you take it. Just one that I wouldn't use personally. Grabber. Start with a grabber. Now, this is starting the run. So day 1 prep, you start with a grabber. Not every day, just one day. That, for a 30% increase in customers, I don't know if that's the best decision, best card to take. Now, if you're set up, if you're bringing things from your workshop, if you're bringing a blueprint cabinet or you're bringing a copy desk, then I'd absolutely go with this because you can start copying things right away. But if you don't have that, this is a hard card to take for the increased customers unless you have a solid plan in place where you could use a grabber on day 1. That would be beneficial because otherwise we get one grabber and that's it. Wash Basin, same thing as the grabber. You start with Wash Basin, 30% increase in customers, 100 XP. So again, you start off with one Wash Basin. Now, a Wash Basin I find is a very good sink, especially if you're dealing with larger groups when you have to clear tables of 3 or 4 people before the next group comes in, etc., etc. But again, one Wash Basin for 30% increased customers throughout the run. It's a very hard card to choose. I would usually go for a different card unless this was the better option of the two. Savings. This is along the lines of Wash Basin. 30% increase in customers, and all you do is you start with 50 coins. On day 1, you start with 50 coins instead of 0. That's it. That's all you start with. Now, you may say, well, that's pretty good because usually at the end of day 1, I'm only a few coins short of being able to buy what I want to buy to start my run on which would be on day 2 prep. Again, this would be a card that I would take if I would have no other choice. For the 30% increase in customers at the end of day 15, that could mean an extra 10, 15, 20 customers for 50 coins at the beginning. To me, not the most worth it card. High-tech suppliers. Shop blueprints have 25% chance to be upgraded. This is a good card. It's only 25% chance, so 1 in 4 chance. But you do get 5 blueprints every day, so theoretically, mathematically, you should have at least one of those upgraded every day, but RNG doesn't work that way. But it's a good card to choose if you don't have a better one to pick when you franchise. 30% increased customers. Now, the one good thing with this is that this is shop blueprints. This is throughout your entire run. This isn't just day 1. This is day 1 to 15 and any overtimes you have, plus any franchises you have afterwards. So this could be a quite powerful card to get at a tier 1 franchise if you're planning on making multiple tiers out of the franchise you're currently playing. Renown, 30% increased customers. The only benefit from here is it gives you 200 XP when you fail the run instead of 100 XP. So it's a hard, again, I wouldn't take this card unless there was no other choice, but it's not the best card. It doesn't increase your customers like a bonus, but it gives you the increased customers based on the card. So you don't have the plus 30 at the bottom, you have the plus 30 in the card itself, but same difference. Hard to swallow when you get to the end of the run just for an extra 100 XP, in my opinion. You have expansion. Now, we're starting to get into some of the cards where it really affects how your gameplay is. Plus 2 to group size. That means regardless of what customer cards you get on days 3, 6, 9, 12, OT3, 6, 9, 12, etc., you have plus 2 to group sizes. So if you have this card, individual dining does not work anymore because it'll be 3 to 3. It won't be 1-1, it'll be 3 to 3 group sizes. And 3 is a very awkward number for tables. Usually you have 2 or you have 4. Again, if you have normal groups, which are 1 to 2, you'll now have groups of 3 to 4. Mandatory. If you have the expanded cards, you could have groups that are groups 5 to 8. It's a very hard card, but again, 200% increased experience when you get to the end and you fail the run. To me, not worth it, but again, depends on how your style is. If you want to have big tables, this is the card to take. Next one, discount, 24% less money. It's exactly what it says. You make 25% less money your entire run. So if you choose this as your tier 1 card, the entire rest of your run and any runs that you tier on after this, you'll be making 25% less money. The only benefit of that is you get 200 XP when you fail the run, but to me, not worth it, again, unless there's no other choice. Simplicity. Desks can only be used once per day. Now, a lot of people have asked, what does this mean? That means if you have one research desk, no matter how many blueprint cabinets you have, if you have one copy desk, one discount desk, no matter how many blueprint cabinets you have, you can use it one time. When you use the research desk or any of the 3 desks I just spoke of, you use it one time to upgrade or copy or discount something in one cabinet. You'll get an X on top of the desk, and it means you can't use it for the rest of that day. So if you're not really looking to get many blueprints or blueprint cabinets, it's not a bad card. It doesn't give you any negatives or any positives. It gives you 200 XP when you fail. But again, it's certain circumstances depending on what you're looking for. If you're looking for big time expansion and copying, this is not the card for you. Next is focus. Again, this is almost a free card. Food burns 50% faster. Now, this isn't the cook phase. This is when it gets to the burn phase. So you have your cooking phase, and then as soon as your food is cooked, you have a burn phase. This now ups the burn phase to 50% faster. If you put this with a danger hob, you could be in some serious trouble lighting your restaurant on fire. But again, it's almost one of these. It's called a free card. If you use a safety hob, this card is negated. It doesn't affect anything because safety hobs don't burn. Next is quality. All processes are 20% slower. Again, 200 XP bonus when you fail. No issue with more customers or less customers. There's no benefit there. This is not a bad card, except if you remember when you start your run, each tier, day 1, day 2, 3, etc., you start with your starter hops, which are only a 0.75 speed. So this then bumps that down to like a 0.6 speed. So it's significantly slower. So here you have to almost shoot to get danger hobs or safety hobs for things that you don't really mind if they're slower, because they could go really slow. But again, it's not a bad card depending on the dish that you have. This also affects your chopping and washing dishes, not just your cooking, so everything is slower. But if you have a power sink with a scrubby brush, it'll still be almost instant. If you're chopping, you have the sharp knife and a workstation, it'll still be almost instant. So it depends on what you're shooting for, what materials and appliances you have. But again, it's kind of a free card because there's no downside other than things taking a bit longer to accomplish. You have now expectation. This 20% less patience. Now again, if you have no issues serving people when they sit down, this is a free card. This has nothing to do with speed. This has to do with patience. This is coffee table patience, delivery patience, and outside. So all less patience that a patient meter can show up for a customer, this will reduce it by 1/5. If you have no issues with people running out of time, then this is a free card. If you struggle with it, you'll really struggle with it, especially the later days when you have maybe 20 customers, a bunch of different group sizes. It's not a bad card to take if you think you can handle the patience reduction. Next is careful accounting, and we are actually back to the beginning. So I just want to double check that I didn't miss any. Nope, that is all of them. The patience is the last one. So we're back to careful accounting again. Now, hopefully, this helped you guys with determining or deciding what franchises you want. Now, there are 29 cards here, which means that you could theoretically franchise to tier 29 and get every single card. Now, I don't think anybody will ever get to franchise tier 29. I don't think that's necessarily possible in the game, because all the reductions in customers with other cards, etc., etc. But those are the 29 as of today, the 1.0 release, and how they work and what they describe. If you have any questions beyond what I've described for each card, feel free to leave it in the comments, or you could reach me on Discord at TheOntarioGardener. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back very soon with another PlateUp Learning the Basics tutorial video. Take care now.